Let us see if I can do this one in such a way it does not get taken away, because I've had some stuff taken away. So, like my YouTube stuff. So this is trying to please all people involved and platform involved. Okay. My in-person experiences. Great way to start. Pickle in the tooth. Who was the better conversationalist? Russell Wilson or Elon Musk? So today is Monday, 25 August 2025, and here I, Tanis Coralee of Seattle, reflect on my multiple experiences interacting with Russell Wilson and Elon Musk, total time frame of 1990s to present, and provide my perspective on who was a better conversationalist and speaking with me, taking into account my own communication abilities at each interaction. They're older than me. One was born in the 1970s, one was born in the 1980s, and I was born in the 1990s. So there's an age differential to come into play here, I'm guessing, in my reflecting. So all of the interactions were in everyday, non-work settings, including group and one-on-one interactions. And as of when I filmed this video on Monday, 25 August 2025, it had been over 3.00 consecutive years since I had spoken waking mode to Russell Wilson, and it had been over 3.00 consecutive years since I had spoken waking mode to Elon Musk. So these are all waking mode interactions, not like sleepwalking or Narnia time or stuff like that, like out in the real world during the, during the daytime. We're all during the daytime, actually. Okay. And they were all, I think, in public settings, the ones that I'm talking about here. So in group setting, let's start with group setting. In group setting, both were more low-key. They were not dominant. And I may have spoken louder than Elon Musk in one group setting. I was a very boisterous child. Don't, as a way of saying, in this particular contextualization or competition space, in the group mode, they were both better than I was at being, like, perhaps soft-spoken, which then is kind of interesting, because in the one-on-one interactions, they're actually similar as well. And that they were both like, it was perhaps more pronounced with a particular conversation I had with Russell Wilson, where that guy is so overconfident. And like, Elon Musk was similar, but not quite to the same degree. But I was just kind of like, whoa. After each one, I think perhaps maybe I left the Russell Wilson one feeling a little more. I've talked about that before, the conversation I'm referring to here in Mexico, not during my mission trip, but before that, of like, I just felt socially dominated. And it was the same with Elon Musk. However, it was not, there was a degree of overconfidence with both, but it was lesser with Elon Musk. And I don't know if that's the age differential. I think Elon Musk is like 17 years older than Russell Wilson, and I'm like multiple years younger than Russell Wilson. So there's like the spectrum of ages of me being like, just survive the conversation. As unflattering or flattering as that may be. So yes, I would say they're, for the group setting, they're about on par with each other. If you don't want a woman speaking louder, then perhaps Russell Wilson. In terms of like one-on-one, I would say the overconfidence thing with Russell Wilson was kind of got to the point where he could talk a lot, and I wouldn't necessarily, like, because he may have been talking about American football and I didn't really watch American football or know anything about it. There's a little bit of, if one's looking to include both sides on the conversation, that perhaps he got really excited, and that was very clear. He was excited about American football and his own prospects. However, like, that doesn't necessarily mean I understood the details of what he was saying. And then with Elon Musk, I would say one conversation in particular I'm thinking of is, he did a good job of communicating. He was not distracted from not, this is going to be, from not viewing me as a sexual object. but still having affection for me. So, like, in terms of especially, like, just, like, being attentive and being like, wow, you really are paying attention. So I guess in that sense, if, like, being very attentive and, like, I was, like, I'd say, yeah, he was, like, more possibly overconfident in the, like, but maybe he wasn't, and then, like, I can't reciprocate at that level with my communication abilities. It's maybe, like, a way of phrasing it, of, like, I could understand it, but it actually did take me a little bit of time to, like, process it and be like, I think that's what that means. Like, maybe I wasn't necessarily used to having, like, men display, like, affection through being attentive, so, like, there was a, like, a self-esteem adjustment, perhaps, that I was not as cognitively on par with him. I don't know if that would be different today, to be fair. So, what am I saying? Careful on hitting my insecurity mode, or the insecurity mode if somebody's speaking to you. So while they both communicated excitement or, like, attentiveness. So I guess the trade-off there is excitement from Russell Wilson and attentiveness from Elon Musk, with the cost being perhaps for the excitedness of me not necessarily understanding what he's saying, for Russell Wilson, and then with Elon Musk, the attentiveness perhaps coming with my inability to process what's been said accurately at the time. So, like, while both were, like, good interactions in terms of communication or conversation, like, the takeaways were a bit different. So I'm actually going to say it's a tie for both the group and the one-on-one from my own perspective. However, and they were similar. However, at the details level, the kind of not fully capable of handling the situation from me was present for both. However, the how was a bit different for each individual. So if you wanted to know more about them from real person, everyday experiences, that's my dissection of a few interactions in my experience in my life. So my in-person experiences, who was the better conversationalist, Russell Wilson or Elon Musk? It was a tie.